to thank her for the contribution she did while they were building their mosque. Led by Honorable Mwinempaka Rita Atkwase Bwaika, these members visited the Speaker of Parliament and spoke with her about some issues. The woman member of Parliament, Mbara City, Honorable Rita Atkwase Bwaika, told our reporter how she was part of this job as spokesperson, narrated to us how Speaker was useful to them.
Bayabize kwebaza Speaker ogumulumo ogumanyaho
ya umurumo gwo kushaba president yabahire okumbeka ekizimbe cyabo kandi ubuzima kwatanisa hamwe nk'abanyeshengero okubasa kureba ngo sentezi za rugayo kandi nabo no kugira umutima gwo kusima ruyari kuja kusima Speaker wa Parliament nkaba Muslim Supreme Council yambarara bebembirwe Sheikh Abdul Mukwaya nabuyija nabubona nimba sima ntine bugarukiro nisima na mugenzi wanje Honorable Mwine okubasa kwatanisa aha koreje mirimo ndijiyona kandi buzima nekintu kirungi eshiturana Rwanda ngo abanyambara twayibembera twatanise n'abantu baturebereho babase okukora ebikorwa nk'ebi bwenu omukisibo omunyo nishabane bazakongera no kutushabira okubasa kureba ngo nebitwendo mu misho ebye 2026 ruhanga yabitu.
Right Honorable Speaker Anita Anet Among urged Ugandan voters to always vote leaders of substance.
And I want to thank God that you appreciated what I said yesterday, that I wasn't feeling well, and I will be able to see you this morning. Unfortunately, of course, you can't determine death. One of our colleagues has lost a brother, and you know, with our Muslim faith, they bury the same day. So we are trying to go for burial for Honorable Katutu's brother. But I want to thank God that you accepted to stay over. I know it was an inconvenience, especially when you're fasting. But I made sure that you go to a Muslim hotel where you're able to enjoy yourself, break your fast, and do everything. Honorable Paka, thank you for getting for me friends from Mbarara. The person who has brought you is actually the one who has always informed me. The Muslim fraternity of Mbarara wants to meet me. Is the one who came and lobbied for the support, which we ably gave, and we shall continue supporting you, Honorable Paka. And as Muslim brothers and sisters, as religious leaders, I want to urge you to always vote or encourage the communities around you to vote leaders of the likes of Paka, the likes of Rita, that group, the Cancuners. Vote for people who help in the nation building, not who disagree with the government on the projects that affect the government. It is my humble plea that as you go back to Mbarara, talk to your Muslim brothers and sisters, talk to even the religious fraternity and tell them, let's sit down and agree which kind of leaders we want. Do we want the importance of today, or we want people who just come there and do nothing for themselves? We need people who can be able to support you. Without Mpaka, you would have known me. I would be here, you would be watching me on TV. But I'm telling you, this boy, I am sorry for calling you a boy. This boy here is, as I've said, is an asset. The boy you see here is one person you will tell do this. He will really ask you how much time are you giving me. Very, very effective chairperson. He's my chairperson of trade, but very objective. You can never compromise in Paka. That is the person you have in Mbarara. And I really want you, as religious leaders, still to champion the unity and development. Unity and development in the area. You, as you go back, go and talk to the people that we must unite as an area for us to be able to get whatever we want. If we are not united as the Supreme Council, you can't do it together. If you are not united as the council, you will not be able to develop. So once you're united, you're able to develop, you're able to have whatever you want as a group. So as you said, we gave a contribution, we will continue supporting you through Baka. And Honorable Baka is a very good friend to Honorable Mabubu. Very good friend. And the person who will give that message best is Honorable Baka. I am going to tell him that Honorable Baka has your message. I am not going to tell him that you want him in Mbarara, but I'm going to tell him that Honorable Baka has his message from the Muslim fraternity of Mbarara. In terms of the jobs that you talked about, by the way, there are so many jobs in this country. So many jobs in this country. But the best thing that we can do, we may not really rely so much on Parliament. But the best thing you can do, one, you can leave us with the papers, apply somewhere, tell us you've applied here, and we make a follow-up on that. As government, our responsibility is to make sure that people have jobs, and we'll do that.
To Ronald, Gntv at Parliament.
Appreciate you, our reporter, for that report. And in more news, the Executive Director of Uganda Bureau of Statistics, call it UBOS, Chris Mukiza, has cautioned Ugandans across the country against conmen during this period of national census that is to take place on 10th of May 2024. That day is a public holiday in Uganda. We have more.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has received countrywide complaints from applicants who have not been shortlisted as stated below. A, that those with qualifications have been excluded, and those without genuine qualifications are being shortlisted. So it is a complaint with two aspects. Those with minimal qualification that requested, a number of them have been excluded, and those they also suspect that there are those with no qualifications that have been shortlisted. We have also been alerted that there are conmen who are calling the applicants to pay 100,000 shillings in order to participate in the interview processes. These are conmen. C, there is a fake online advert making rounds on social media about census recruitment, and that portal for them is https /adhoc.ugcensus.info.gov.cit. The Bureau would like to issue the following instructions. Number one, and this goes to the district recruitment teams, especially cows. The display of shortlisted candidates should continue until Friday, 12th April 2024, 5 p.m. They are closed the display and they are calling people for interviewing. So for us, we are extending it to Friday, 5 p.m. The objective of displaying the shortlist is to ensure that those who were erroneously shortlisted are reported for administrative review. In addition, all of those with issues regarding recruitment, especially those who say were left out when they had qualification, should lodge in their complaints with evidence of having applied, so that their complaint can be reviewed by the recruitment team at the Bureau, working closely with the district officials. And we shall soon give you the portal where the complaints shall be reported. 2, there is no one required to pay any shilling during this recruitment process. Anybody who asks for money from any shortlisted candidate or anyone to be shortlisted should be reported to the nearest police station for investigation. 3, the census recruitment portal closed on 22nd March 2024, and therefore there is no more solicitation of applications and applicants for census enumerators and supervisors. So this new ad hoc thing that is purportedly circulating through U-Boss should be disregarded. We closed long ago.
Okay, as informed by the executive director, the portal that we are going to use for receiving these complaints is the same portal that we have been using for application. So the same way we applied for these jobs is the same way we're going to put in the complaints. What we've done, we've added a complaint button on your application. So if you've already applied, when you log in, you can view the status of your application. Now, at the part of the status, you can select the job and lodge in the complaint. It's very straightforward and very simple. If you could just look at this page. So when you log in on that same portal that you used for application, using the same login credentials that you used for application, you will find your status, which is either of these two jobs or both. So you go to whichever job you applied for that you want to lodge a complaint, and just submit the complaint, and we shall receive it and we shall know where it has come through. It's a very simple basic form, as you can see. We've predicted some of the complaints. For example, I have an email, but I'm not on the published shortlist, yet I received the email that was notifying me. So we've predicted some of these, but we've also left an option to enter a complaint that is very unique to you.
Gntv at 12.
For that report. And in another news, Kampala traders, especially those working in the Chikubo trading area, closed their shops, striking over high taxes by the Uganda Revenue Authority. These traders say that some of the policies that were passed do intimidate them and stop them from working effectively. Our reporter has more.
Kabanda ndi president wa Federation of Uganda Traders Association zifuta olwalero tugaddewo ekibuga ngekitugazawo ekibuga ng'abasuubuzi emisolo gisusa obungi emisolo emipya tugiwakanya ifulisi tetusobola gikozesa mu busuubuzi bwa Uganda kubanga n'omuntu atali bigebo omuntu atasaanidde kugenda ku VAT agenda ko direct n'omuntu akozesa miliyoni 2 n'omuyiribi tuwakanya emisolo emingi gikobye wana abasuubuzi bonna omuli abasudani omuli abakongo omuli abanyarwanda Tanzania abagulanga wana ebintu tewakyali kati problem gye tulina ate tuddira gavumenti eddira ate abasuubuzi baffe netandika battukubya abamu naye tugamba nti mu kino tetugenda kuyimiriza tugenda kuwaamu abasiraamu okukola sizoni yaabwe okutandika ne Monday nga 15 tuddamu demonstration eno mu mirembe ekikubo kyonna kiggale n'ekibuga kyonna ffe nga futa ffe tukikulembeddemu era nga tukakasa nti tugenda kukiremerako paka sensitizing abasuubuzi okudda ku nkoleno eya ifwizi twagala otegeeza eggwanga
tebatusensitizingangako n'ekigambo ifwiz situmanyi makulu gaakyo. Emisolo mingi nnyo. Income tax ali waggulu, import duty owa 35% ali waggulu, values ziri waggulu ate zakulamuza. Kugamba twewuunya n'okwewuunya. Gavumenti mwe tuwangaalidde ng'ogende wano n'osuubula ebintu n'obireeta mu ggwanga n'otandika okulamuza omusolo ne bajja nga bagusalaasala bwagwongeza. Leero bwe ŋŋenda n'ensuubula nsasula ssente endala, bwe nzirayo n'ensuubula nsasula ssente endala. Kwegamba URA yafuuse mpuku y'ababbi, mpuku y'abanyazi abawedde emirimu.
Yenze Lwegaba Moses, Chairman Katukazana Issues Dealers Association Uganda, nga nzija mufuta ne tugatta amaanyi Federation of Uganda Traders Association ng'omwogezi waayo. Ekitugazaawo ekibuga olunaku olwaleero tubadde ne bye twemulugunya, tuwandiise okumala ebbanga ddene nga tuwandiikira gavumenti yaffe, finance tugiwandiikidde, parliament tugiwandiikidde, state house tugiwandiikidde. Bassebo ne bannyabo tugezaako okulwana mu nsonga zaffe zino wammanga. Bassebo ne bannyabo, Omuchina ya breaking a chain of distribution. Ya breaking a chain of distribution. Avawira ddala mu manufacturer mpaka wansi ku retail, tugamba batuveemu badde mu factories zaabwe. Ku ssaawa eno ekitugazzaawo, URA yateeka ebikwekwete by'abantu abakwata abantu abafulumya ate ebyamaguzi, ate nga URA tubadde tugimanye erina kukwata bayingiza byamaguzi mu ggwanga. Ku ssaawa tugambe tuggyemu emisanvu, ate ne ifree system mufe ab'owansi tebaagikolera ffe, baagikolera ba manufacturer ne bali ba big supplier abatundira ebintu mu warehouses. So ku ssaawa eno ffe kye tulwana tugamba ifree system tegenda kukola muffe abawansi kubanga yasuula abantu wano wammanga twakizudde. Yasuula Uchumi, nesuula Shoprite, nesuula Taskis, ezo supermarkets eziri international ennene. Kati ku ssaawa eno tulina omugagga aliwo nga munnayuganda alina supermarket, bamukubya assessment ya billions 3 nga system eyo yemukuba fines ezo. Kati ku ssaawa eno abantu abalala badde mu kikuba badde ku system eyo babataddeko bifayini ebitategerekeka, ng'oli bw'amisinga n'okuba nga atundayo ne bwe ba PCM ne bamukwata bamukuba engasi ya miliyoni 6. Kati be twali badde tulabirako ate bali mu kukosebwa. Tugamba kino ki system tukisindiikiriza kituveemu, tekigenda kukola muffe.
Abandaba bambi mbasaba muleke kwelyamu lukwe, temugenda na diversion, temutambula na diversion. Bannaffe babagamba simanyi okwekalakasa ddi, mbagayiridde mubaveeko kana kaseera kakwerwanirira. Gwe ng'omusuubuzi kennyini gw'olina okwerwanako. Tutandise okugulawo olwaleero tuddamu nga 15 tulaga obutali bumativu bwaffe, tetwagala tuzanyirako ffe tusasula omusolo. Ate gavumenti okuva n'olwaleero bwe mubanga mukola policies ku nsonga y'obusuubuzi muyina otukonsalutinga ng'abasuubuzi.
Embeera mbi eri ewantu omuntu wa wansi ebintu babyongaza
kuteganya poloti omujja agenda okulo kiteekeko omusolo tulina tuka okuzimba amazima embeera mbi nolaba na bonna abantu buli omu ayagala okukola naye buli omu yeerekereza lwa mbeera
kikubo kiggale
era ekikubo kyona kiggale nerwaweru yonna kampala yonna namba tuli mu lokodawuni
kikubo ekisibibwa
nnyo nesalawo nkeera ennyo kakyayi omusolo mungi ab'ebizimbe bongeza leeti kwegamba obeera weetisa akagubuko bakubuuza influence risiti ya influence wabweru tetukyatulumya bintu byaffe tosobola kusibira customer box nga talina risiti ng'ate abantu abamu aba tebagala risiti kati nze nesalawo nkeera ennyo kakyayi
sina kyemanyi ku influence nawe zembarara ruzimunyo Rwanda sibikwandako mbarira walijaba abajegala
zo ku bantu n'ebizinezimukina ate nga musasula ate nga tusasula emisolo ebitusumbwa ebyo sa gavumenti etukendeezeeko tujjeko tukole ebirala tubadde mu kasizoni kaidi naye tulemye tetugikoze
za asimwe Gntv at 12.
Isaiah for that report. And now the president of National Unity Platform Party, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bobi Wine, has asked all leaders and all Ugandans as well to fight against corruption in order to allow economic development of our country, Uganda. We have more.
The theme for today is a reflection of our vision for a new Uganda, a Uganda whose resources are exploited for the benefit of the citizens and not for the benefit of a select few individuals. A Uganda that protects and promotes dignity and basic freedoms and rights for every citizen. A Uganda that puts interests of the people, the citizens, at the forefront of public policy. The alternative budget priorities presented today recognize the plight of the ordinary Ugandan, whom the leaders derive their mandate from, and also paint a clear picture of what we intend to do in order to make Uganda a country that works for every Ugandan. Ladies and gentlemen, Ugandans deserve better health care, they deserve better education, and they deserve better infrastructure in order for them to live their full potential and benefit and enjoy all their fundamental rights. Because education is essential for producing skilled workers, a workforce that will transform communities, it's therefore important that our children study subjects and courses that are relevant to their passion and natural abilities. We cannot achieve without changing, we can't achieve this without changing or in fact overhauling our entire education system and realigning our education institutions. Considering that 75% of Uganda's disease burden is preventable, then we must make our priority to invest in disease prevention rather than disease cure. Okusoka nebaziza leader waffe wa timu yaffe ya parliament right honorable Joel Ssenyonyi ne timu yonna gyakoze nayo okufulumya budget yaffe eno etali nnene nnyo naye ate ng'efokasinga ku bintu ebiyamba abantu ng'egoberera n'omulamwa ogusitula eddembe ly'abantu. Eddembe ly'abantu si kweyagala bweyagazi naye n'okuenjoyinga oba okunyumirwa oba okweyagalira mu bintu ebyo bye basaanira okweyagaliramu mu mateeka. Naye okusingira ddala obubaka bwange wakati mu kubeebaza olw'okuvaayo ne bajeti eno ennungi n'ebirowoozo ebirungi, mbajjukiza abakulembeze baffe nti ebirowoozo ebirungi tujja nabyo bibadde nga bireetebwa, naye ekizibu kye tulina nti ebirowoozo bikoma kuleetebwa. Ekizibu ekisinga ekya Uganda yenna kyemalira Yoweri Museveni nga ye sente z'eggwanga zonna azimalira mu kwekumira mu buyinza, kugulirira abakulembeze bamwetoolodde na kunyigiriza abantu. So ekizibu kye tulina okusooka okugyawo yenna kyemalira Museveni, then tubeere n'eddembe ebisaasanya sente za Uganda si mu kwejalabya naye mu kutereeza ebyo ebisaana okutaasa abantu ng'amasomero, ng'amalwaliro n'ebirala bifaanana bwe bityo. Well, saagala ensonga eno nnene gireducinga ku muntu omu. Ensonga gye mbadde sikonyeeko ensonga y'enguzi ekutte ejjembe. Newankubadde omu ku ffe naye yalisanga mu nsonga eyo, naye abamukulira bye basinga okulya enguzi, okugeza sipiika waffe wano, sipiika wa parliament ya Uganda ye Nakinku mu kulya enguzi. Era ekyo kyetaaga okwogerwako, ensi n'ekimanya, n'ensi n'emukolinga out, kubanga sente ezoonoonebwa parliament eno zisobola okukyusa obulamu bw'abantu bungi nnyo. So obuli bw'enguzi ye kansa ayonoonye Uganda, kati kyafuuka institutional. Enguzi yafuuka ngeri ya kwekumira mu buyinza na ngeri ya kukakanya abavuganya gavumenti. So enguzi ng'ekulemberwa Anita Amongo, sipiika wa wano, nga mulimu si bokaboka ba NRM naye nga mulimu n'abaffe, kizibu nnyo era nakyo tulina okirwanyisa, ate tujja kirwanyisa. Ffe nga NUP tujja kukozesa ebikolwa si bigambo. We tulina obuyinza wonna okulwanyisa enguzi, naye twagala na buli kitongole kya gavumenti kikozesa obuyinza obwo okulwanyisa enguzi, kuba enguzi yesisigiriza Uganda emabega. Ensonga y'obutalotalo mmwe bannamawulire mmwe abagiteekawo, tewali lutalo lwonna. Okuleka ng'oŋŋamba nti okola ekituufu luba lutalo. Okola ekituufu luba lutalo, then tuli mu lutalo. Era tulina okubeera mu lutalo nga tulwanyisa enguzi, nga tulwanyisa obulyake, nga tulwanyisa obwannakyemalira, oluba lutalo. So si mu kibiina kyaffe nze ndowooza mu kibiina kyaffe twandibadde nga ekyokulabirako buli muntu kabeere nga sipiika wa paliamenti yalidde enguzi kabeere nga minisita n'akangavulwa nga bwe kirina okubeera ffe nga NUP tubawa kyakulabirako tuli option era mu Uganda empya bwe tubikola bwe tujja obikola nga tumaze okugoba nakyemalira saagala nnyo kukendeeza kwogera kwange kukukakanya ate kusa ku bammemba bange benkulembera mu kibiina njagala nnyo njogere ku nsonga ezigasa eggwanga lyonna kati budget eno si ya NUP yokka wabula reflectinga ekifaananyi kya opposition yonna so saagala ensonga za NUP ate nziyingize mu bibiina ebirala njagala njogere ku kintu ekigasa eggwanga lyonna lyonna si kibiina kyokka nga NUP webale nnyo webale kyannaku nnyo okubeera mu nsi nga tulowooza nti bwabaawo obumenyi bw'amateeka olina kuteesa n'amenya amateeka bwabaawo obumenyi bw'amateeka nga waliwo evidence oba obujulizi obumulumika then amateeka gakole bwe mugamba nti omuntu bw'aba amenya etteeka bateesaganye naye then tugyewo amateeka bibeere byakuteesaganya baganda baffe abaasibwa mu makomera tebalina musango n'olw'ensonga eyo balina okuyimbulwa embagirawo awatali kakwakulizo kuba tebalina musango bwe baba balina omusango baleetebwe mu kooti bavunaanibwe omusango gubake muvi oba bagusinge bejjerere so si kuteesaganya nabo eyo enkola yakiyekera tetukkiriziganya nayo tukkiriziganya mu nfuga ey'amateeka era bwe tunatwala obuyinza yenfuga gye tujja okutambulira. It is unfortunate that we live in a country where the leadership thinks or the rulership thinks that when somebody commits a crime you have to negotiate their release. If somebody commits a crime, then let the evidence be presented, let them be presented in a competent court, and let them be either convicted or acquitted. We are not going to negotiate our rights. We believe in the rule of law. If there is the rule of law in Uganda, let it work. If the courts function in Uganda, let them work. Our brothers and sisters who are in prison for the longest time, the political prisoners, are innocent, and we continue to demand their unconditional release. We are not going to negotiate, because if you ask us to negotiate, what do you want us to give in exchange for our freedom? Bobo yagala tuteesaganye n'omuntu ng'akutte baganda baffe nga tebalina musango oyagala ffe tumuwe eki atuwe baganda baffe kubanga kibambasibira dembe lyabwe ate dembe lyabwe eryo si beetegefu ddiwaayo ne bwe banaateebwa bajja kusigala nga bayanira eddembe lyabwe so si lyakuteesaako naye lyabwe ebange kuba constitution eri guaranteeing. Well, everything we do it in the open. We are a transparent political party. And what happened was in public. The information came from the public domain, and we dealt with it as our morality levels permit. The speaker is a criminal herself. The speaker is a criminal, so we don't really have time to exchange with criminals. Thank you very much. The so-called internal conflicts are a creation of the media. As you have seen, so many TVs have been out, on rampage, trying to create a non-existent impression that we have conflicts. No, they're not conflicts. The only conflict we have is with criminality, is with corruption, and we deal with corruption as people that know that corruption is a cancer that has bedeviled our country. Thank you very much. Last week. Well, we major on majors and minor on minors. Thank you.
Clinton Nahabwe, Gntv at 12.
Immigration Officer at Public Service, Mr. Basalira Kigenyi Derek, has advised the Pakistan nationals that are living in a country, Uganda, to always report the problems they are facing, talk of human trafficking. This comes after a Pakistan national in the names of Abel Abba was caught in the act of human trafficking. Our reporter Clinton has more.
The Uganda Traffic Police has busted the racket that has been trafficking the Pakistan nationals that have been living in Uganda. This comes after these Pakistan nationals raised their voices to the Uganda Police and other concerned organizations to fight for their lives.
We managed to convince to come to Uganda way back in December 2023. This group of the 15 has been living in the country under the cover of Abel Abba He has been shifting them from different places and hiding them. And he managed to defraud them of close to $100,000.
According to Basairwa Chigenyi Derek, the immigration officer of public service, these Pakistan nationals are free and live and has also revealed their names.
Now, Haidari Abba has not been working alone. And this is something you cannot do alone. He has been working with his accomplices. I've mentioned 4 of them who are actually living in Uganda, but now they are on the run. One is Hafiz Matin Abdul. That one is also a Pakistani national. Kudir Ahmed is also a Pakistani national. Rana Amjid Ali is also a Pakistani national. And then Tabir is also known as Burundi. That is a code name that he uses. This particular group stays in the country with the status of refugee. This is the call we've been making, that human trafficking now cuts across all communities, regardless of whether people are in refugee communities or they are living legally in the country in a different status, whether they are working as employees or business owners or foreign nationals.
This comes after Abel Abba, that is heading this racket of trafficking Pakistanis, tried to traffic this Pakistan national, that he tried to report to the police and arrested this man.
From this particular case, Abel, a gentleman, Abba, a dairy, we discovered that he had actually also tried to traffic 2 Pakistanis earlier on to Spain with fake visas, and they were apprehended at Entebbe International Airport by our security personnel there, together with immigration, and their case went to police and to court. However, what is interesting is what Abba has been doing.
Basarirwa Chigenyi Derek has also advised all these Pakistan nationals to always report to the police after these incidents.
He identified as Haidari Abba, a Christian. Then, in other societies of the Pakistani who are Muslim, he would identify as Shabir Hussain to try and balance his fraud within the different communities. Remember, for him to fit in the Christian Pakistani origin and the Muslims, he decided to choose 2 identities. And to some people, he's known as Shabir Hussain, and yet he's actually Haidari Abba. That's why we decided to bring this out today, so that even if you know him as Shabir Hussain, at least when you look at this picture or this passport copy, you can easily identify whichever name he has given. You can identify the person and bring them to book. Now,
Clinton Nahabwe, Gntv at 12.
For that report. And in our international stories, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, has criticized the comments of the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken over social media posts about the issues of M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo. His Excellency Paul Kagame says United States should leave issues over African countries alone. Let's take a look.
Rwanda's President Paul Kagame said that he was concerned by what he saw as the failure of the United States to characterize the 1994 massacres as a genocide against country's minority Tutsi. His comments come after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, in a post on the social media platform X, failed to specify that the Tutsi ethnic group was targeted. Kagame said he believed he would reach an agreement with the US authorities for them not to voice any criticism on the day of the anniversary. Rwandan authorities say any ambiguity on who the genocide victims were is an attempt to distort history and disrespects the memory of the victims. Kagame is undergoing pressure over Rwanda's military involvement in eastern Congo, where tensions have flared recently as the two country leaders accuse each other of supporting armed groups.
M23 is an organization born in and out of Congo. That's number one. Number two, these are Congolese. And you will hear even Congo admit it. Now, why do they exist? Why are they fighting? Why do they have arms? It's another question. It is also a simple question. They exist because they have been denied their rights as citizens of that country. They are called Tutsis of Rwanda. Fine. But then you need to be educated also a little bit about history. We have Rwandan communities in Congo who are Congolese. And by the way, these are not just Tutsis. It is the same social structure of a country that is also there in Congo. Like, in fact, we have other neighboring countries where they are, but they are citizens of those countries. We have 100,000 people originating from this community, 100,000 who have been living here in Rwanda in refugee camps for the last 2 decades. Why? Because they are being uprooted from their ancestral homes, persecuted, and sent across. In fact, there are more in Uganda. There are 300, there's 100,000 here, there are hundreds of thousands there in Uganda, more numbers. So M23 is born out of that situation. That's why I asked the question. I said, well, why wouldn't anybody else, why are we being accused as Rwanda of supporting M23? And I'm saying even those who accuse us, actually I should accuse them of not supporting M23 because it is as if they agree with the injustice that is being done to this community. Otherwise, if you didn't agree with that injustice, you would be actually raising questions. Why these people of M23 being treated like this? Why are we having 100,000 refugees here in Rwanda? That's where you would start from. Not start from asking Rwanda, are you supporting M23 or not? Are you still denying it? Because you are asking the wrong question. The issue is not whether anybody supports M23 or not. The issue is, what is actually the problem of M23? That's the question you should have asked, in fact. What is the problem? What is this thing called M23? Are they human beings? Are they this? Are they Rwandans? Are they Congolese? Are they that? Why? Why do they exist? Why do they even have arms and are fighting in their own country? This is the right question that I should be asked. So whether Rwanda supports or associated in any way is actually immaterial. It is relevant to the question. Or even you, if you want to educate yourself or educate the public, the question should have been simple. Ask me, by the way, what do you understand the M23 to be? What is it? That's a fair question. That's the one I would wish to be associated with rather than whether I support or not support.
United Nations experts have said they had solid evidence that members of Rwandese armed forces were conducting operations there in support of M23, whose rebellion has caused the displacement of hundreds of thousands of people in Congo's North Kivu province. Rwanda authorities say that they wanted to deter rebels, including Hutu extremists responsible for the genocide who fled to eastern Congo. Za Asimwe, Gntv at 12.
Back at our headlines.
In our today's top stories, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, UBOS, has warned the public about the ongoing social media conmen and claims against the recruitment process.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has received countrywide complaints from applicants who have not been shortlisted as stated below.
Muslims from Mbarara City visited the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Anita Annette Among, thanking her for the efforts contributed towards building their mosque.
Honorable Paka, thank you for getting me from the friends from Mbarara.
The President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, has criticized US's intervention in the M23 crisis.
But then you need to be educated also a little bit about history.
For this and more, stay tuned.
TV, that's all we had for today, and thanks for being part of us from the time we started to the time we are coming to the end of our today's bulletin. I'm Aliana Tmandize, Gntv at 12, and up next is a lunch hour service at King of Kings Church. Please come and attend. Good afternoon.